theories from all over the internet sent in by you guys that are gonna make us question everything. Thank you, Tops904, for the video.
Hey you still believe that the Earth is a ball? Well, stick around and you're gonna find out that these emergency flight path landings prove in and of themselves that the Earth is flat and stationary. Take this flight for example. This flight was from Dallas to Beijing. Emergency happened along the way, so they decided to stop all the way up in Calgary. On the globe, makes no sense. But if you take a look at it on the flat Earth map, Dallas to Beijing, Calgary is along the way. There's another one. This flight was from Buenos Aires to Qatar. Emergency happened along the way, so they decided to stop all the way up in Rome. Honestly, that seems like a waste of gas. Like, why couldn't you just land somewhere here in Africa? But if you take a look at it on the flat Earth map, Buenos Aires to Qatar, Rome is along the way. This one seriously has to be obvious, guys. So this flight was from Santiago to Johannesburg. And remember guys, these are emergency landings, so they need to land the plane as quickly as possible. So they landed all the way up in Senegal, passing the equator. But if you take a look at it on the flat Earth map, Santiago to Johannesburg, Senegal is along the way, needing to pass the equator. My favorite one of them all has to be this one. This flight was from Auckland to Lima, Peru. But remember guys, these are emergency landings. So they decide to stop all the way up in Los Angeles. Like, do y'all see the problem here guys? On the globe, makes no sense. But if you take a look at it on the flat Earth map, Auckland to Lima, Peru, Los Angeles is along the way. What do you guys think about all of these? Y'all let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, follow me, and share this. Let's get these out to the people.
His math is mathin'. Thank you, Eric, for the video.
I know you haven't always loved the internet. How are you seeing progress right now with all of that? Can you use it to your advantage?
It's a double-edged sword. You know, a lot of artists aren't getting paid full scale for their art, and the internet, because of downloading and things like that, is kind of like a black hole, and it's hard to audit, it's hard to get accounting, and it's not that it's just about the money, but it's about justice and fairness. And when people say that they love you and they respect you, but at the same time take, 80% of your earnings, then expect you to fix your own communities, and they'll probably edit all of this out, but that's the sharp part of the sword, and we're at the wrong end of it right now. So eventually, with courageous people going out there and actually saying something and standing up for it, I think we'll get some balance.
Thank you, sir, for the video.
Are y'all seeing the same things that I'm seeing right now? This is so suspect. Why are people just falling out? Look at this. They're doing what looks like the destruction dance, and people are just falling out. So much to break down in such a short time. But we got it. Let's get it. And perhaps behold a pale horse. I don't think this is the white horse. I think this is a pale horse, or the fourth horse, that unalive follows quarter population. No, but for real, y'all owe us an answer on this one. Why are people just falling out? Again, then we have the pale horse. What is this? I really cracked open the Olympics earlier, but by some weird force, people aren't able to see it. I'm not sure, so if you see it, let me know. Now, what's going on here? What's this thing? Going up to the statue. Whoa, the Statue of Liberty is beat up. What is going on? Y'all, the way they just throw this stuff in our face, man, because they know most people just look right past it. For instance, a satellite being right there, huh? Come on, y'all. Check out my last post on this for a very deep dive. No clue why nobody saw it. Who knows?
My goodness. That is amazing. She's gonna eat the gun. She's trying to.
That's...
Nice position on a sub-captain. This is fantastic. Wow, look at the size. I mean, this female captain, they figured this up as long. Yeah.
Did France just bring out the fourth horseman? So this is how it started to open. So I guess it's cool to mock Jesus Christ. And if y'all remember, I love showing symbolism in things. This is Usher during the Super Bowl. But on this one, I'm just not gonna do it. So I'll give the finger to your checkerboard in their place. I don't care for you. Go worship your bull. I mean, Snoop used to be cool to me, but this, come on, man. And let's not forget what London did for their opening ceremony. Yes, that's hospital beds. Yes, that's, oh. So maybe I'll just entertain you with this about the Mayan calendar, about a portal, about this. Oh, is that Paris, France? Is that the Collider? Because I'm really getting tired of showing this. When you want to sit here and lead to it of something like this of being a mockery to God. At least when I watched this, I knew what was coming. But watching this, oh, I still know what's coming. You ain't gonna like it. Everyone, take care. God bless. I'm not watching a dime of this.
I did hear that correctly, right? This is in the Olympics? Aren't the Olympics about sports? Did I miss something? I don't watch none of this stuff. Y'all gotta forgive me if I sound ignorant because I don't. I just know growing up, Olympics was about people competing and then you winning medals. When did music and all this other stuff happen to partake of the Olympics? The math is not mathing for me. Something's missing. I'm missing something. Maybe y'all can help me out. Thank you, Hector, for the video.
I could make a sperm out of your skin cells and an egg and fertilize that.
So you can clone me?
I could clone you. I won't do that because it's illegal, but biologically we could do that. I can make organs, mini organs from you and test drugs. What we're doing in the lab is we have... Yeah. Personalized medicine. When you come to my lab and you have to promise you're going to come, I'll show you we grow these mini brains in the lab. And we've got them from people that are predisposed to Alzheimer's or not. And we have a way to age those brains so that they're now 80 years old, even though they're only a few months old. And they lose their ability to fire electrically. They become demented in the dish, little mini brains. On Instagram, I've shown some photos of these. They're pretty cute. And so we give them Alzheimer's and dementia in the dish. And then what we do is we have the system to turn on those 3 embryonic genes, OS and K, and those brains go back in age. But here's the cool thing. Alzheimer's goes away, that electrical activity comes back. Now we do this in a mouse. We make the mouse older, just let them age out, or we accelerate it, and we've been now reversing the age of those brains in the mice, and you can guess what happens. They get their memory ability to learn back.
Unbelievable. Do you hear what you're saying? It's almost like, man, if you can find a way right now to stay on this planet healthy for the next 10 or 20 years, if you can manage to do that, that there might be an extension of your life at a magnitude of another 20 or 30 potentially healthy years possibly, and you said 10 earlier. If you can just find a way to extend your life, there may be a completely different world we're living in a matter of a decade.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kay, for the next couple of videos.
Stay woke.
File in the Illuminati archive.
Okay, that's Keanu now, and here he is in Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1992. He's barely aged a day. How old are these photos? And who are all these women? Hollywood immortals?
The Illuminati has spread their message using the charisma of actors for centuries, but get this, they found a way to keep them alive so their star power never dies.
Hollywood's leading men are making themselves immortal using the blood of young women. They're all hundreds of years old.
Every ageless leading man is one of them. Nicolas Cage, Brad Pitt, Larry David, and the most bloodthirsty of them all, Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's why they all take 19-year-old models who we never see again for their blood.
Go to my next cleanup job. Someone on the internet found out Margot Robbie is CGI. Call me later.
Ricky, you gotta tell.
Now tell me, why would they make something like this? Now this man's a definition of woke.
Got into the habit of buying junk fast foods that have no actual food in them. We buy gallons of poisonous household cleaners when one degradable soft soap will do. We are poisoning our homes and wasting our hard-earned money for no good reason. Why? They just want you to buy stuff. If you don't want food with chemicals or GMOs in it, then don't buy it. The minute we start taking responsibility and spending our money wisely, every politician, every corporation, and leader around the world is going to know that we have woken up. And that's people I would trust with my health is big pharma and big government, because neither one of those strike me as caring entities. They're all about profit. Exactly. They're all about profit. And what does the government actually do to help? When a superpower with all this military might attacks just unprovoked, attacks like you know, Iraq. Sorry, Afghan. I'm sorry, Korea. No, sorry, Ukraine. Terrible. You lure them in with humor, then you make them think. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes, and people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away. I mean, who is gonna believe that crazy idea? Being forced to do drugs? I do that voluntarily all day long.
Now tell me you guys remember this video.
But Dave Chappelle was decapitated in front of us. He made $500 million. They said even though his contract said he should get half of it, they said he made too much for the contract to be valid. You mean he made $500 million and they offered him 50? Yes. And he said, what do you think my fans are gonna say? They said, your fans will believe that you're a crazy crackhead by the time you get home.
After watching that, it really got me thinking. Because we know that most of these celebrities are into some weird stuff, right? But only a select few get exposed. Now we all know what Michael Jackson is known for, or what he allegedly did. Look at this.
I've generated several $1 billion for Sony. Several billion. They never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them. So I own half of Sony's publishing, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it.
Does anybody see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
The media pushed and pushed and pushed propaganda about Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, the first
Click.
man to clone himself, is now suing himself for molesting himself. What did you do with Sue? I didn't
Scary
touch her,
Movie
I
3.
swear. I don't believe you. Please, for God's sakes. She's a girl. I done touched on everything but little boys. That's not a stab at Michael.
And there are literally countless examples of this. Michael Jackson is one of the biggest stars of all time. And with that comes influence that he would have on the people, right? And if he's not doing what they want him to do, their only option is to discredit him. Really makes you think about all the other celebrities that they had to discredit.
That's so real. Because now anybody that they sat and kind of made a negative accusation towards, I want to look into what it was that they were doing. What was it that you were doing before the accusations came about? Because most likely 9 times out of 10, they were exposing or revealing something about the industry, but they couldn't allow that to happen. So they placed something negative on their name to where when you look their name up, all you see is this negative energy and this negative like commentary towards them about what they were allegedly doing or caught doing, when in reality they weren't doing that. They were trying to expose the system, but the system wasn't allowing that to happen. That is real. That's mind-blowing. Thank you, JD, for the video. Thank you, Hector, for the next couple of videos. John F. Kennedy assassination. I never heard of that. There was a quote that popped up in my mind when I was watching that video, and the quote goes, "Don't trust everything you see because even salt looks like sugar." They out here tampering with evidence. So the driver took him out? Oh, I don't want to see the video. My heart and my mind and my eyes can't handle that. But if y'all watch it, y'all tell me what y'all see and then come back and comment on this video.
Let's look at the photo. You say that's me? Okay, check out the name badge. It says Aldrin. Looks like you're right. But notice the helmet. Can you see my face? No. This is a secret I've been keeping for almost half a century. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and I pulled off humanity's first extraterrestrial prank.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we want.
There's truth in them jokes. I'm telling you what I know. It is truth in the jokes.
You really thought about what it would take to fake a movie.
From an analytical standpoint, photographic anomalies have to be sought out with an understanding of lighting and shadows. The most straightforward is simple. When objects are lit solely by the sun, as all the scenes on the moon were said to be, after all, lighting equipment was not only impractical, it was unnecessary in bright sunlight, then all shadows, regardless of the landscape, will run parallel with one another and never intersect, as shown by this example. In these seldom seen photographs, obtained from a rarely used auxiliary NASA archival site, it is clear that these scenes were lit with artificial light. These shadows, which are cast at different angles, are evidence that a second light source is being used. In addition, the sun would not cause an isolated hotspot like this, only an artificial light would. Again, intersecting shadows and another hotspot. And again. And again. It is simply impossible for this picture to have been taken with sunlight on the moon.
Wow.
Here, the shadows are shown to be as black as pitch. And yet here, completely in a shadow, the astronaut is lit up like a Christmas tree. How can this be? Or this, on the shadow side of the lunar module. In this magnification of an Apollo photograph, a rock, very likely a papier-mâché prop because of the crease here, is categorized with the letter C. In later releases of the same picture, the letter is gone, probably airbrushed out. Here, a crosshair, which was burned directly into the image from the film plate, and thus should always appear on top of the objects in the photograph, appears behind the object in this scene, clearly revealing a composite of two pictures into one. Someone apparently forgot to create a burn crater underneath the lunar module's 10,000-pound thrust engine, despite the fact that during ground tests there was a real concern for the vehicle falling into the hole the engine created as it descended. Here is a depiction based on the latest specifications and scientific data. In these enlargements, it looks as though the lunar module was simply placed there. Not even one speck of moon dust on the landing pod. As a result, all subsequent flights had to have the same discrepancy, which was explained away by the effect of no atmosphere.
If you wanted to fake the moon landing, you would have to fake all...
admits that they don't know where those tapes are. They're gone, all of them.
If it's anywhere, it should be here at NASA's Goddard Space Center in Maryland, home to the National Space Science Data Archives.
This film you're making now, what is it? Does it have a name? I mean, do you have a name for it yet, or are you
calling it Did We Go?
Did We Go? Okay, okay.
Doesn't have it either. The Smithsonian doesn't have it. Johnson doesn't have it.
Right. We've been unable to track it down. I mean, we don't know where this telemetry data ended up, and we don't know what path it may have taken. So, unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't really give you much of a clue as to where this data ended up and whether it still exists or not.
NASA admitted that it had lost
lost the original footage of man's first steps on the moon.
How you lose that?
YouTube and watch A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. It contains newly discovered evidence, which is part of the missing tapes, of outtakes from the first mission to the moon, of them falsifying a shot of being halfway to the moon. We found never before seen footage of them faking part of the photography, which is in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, which has been licensed 5 times and can only now be viewed on YouTube.
Here they discuss the fact that they have turned out the lights and have blocked out sunlight from entering the spacecraft through the other windows, as to not cause any reflected light to fall onto the spacecraft's wall in the foreground.
Okay, very good. Well, we shut out the sun coming in some of the other windows into the spacecraft, so it's looking through a number 1 window, and there isn't any reflected light.
The reason this was done is so that the truth of the matter would not be revealed. It is this. Though the federal government would have you believe that this is a view of Earth from a distance out of the spacecraft's window as it nears the moon, it is not. What they have ingeniously done is placed the camera at the back of the spacecraft and centered the lens on a circular window in the foreground, outside of which it is completely filled with the Earth in low orbit. The circumference of the window then appears to be the diameter of the Earth at a distance. As they perfected the shot, a crescent-shaped piece of black material was inset slightly into the window to create the illusion of the Earth's terminator line dividing night and day. It is uncannily convincing. During this segment, intended to be edited and played back later for the worldwide television audience, dated July 18th, 1969, Neil Armstrong condemns himself as he states that he is 130,000 miles out.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 11. Calling in from about 130,000 miles out.
Finally, the iris is opened up and you can see the real location of the camera and the very bright and near Earth out the window.
This keeps getting worse and worse.
Here is the slate for the 19th of July. And the same shot of trickery on the 19th of July. And then the 20th. And the same misleading shot on the 20th.
Thank you, Jay, for the video.
Monkey breeding facility that was in the beginning stages of construction has hit a legal snag, but apparently it's still moving forward. This comes after the Decatur County Commissioners hosted a huge crowd of neighbors concerned about the issue. WAOB News 10's Lena Allen shared where it all stands now.
I don't even get what's going on.
The Decatur County Commissioners admit they violated the Open Meetings Act. In short, they approved financial incentives for the project at a meeting that wasn't made public.
We were asked to be at a meeting, and we assumed that the people that asked us to be at a meeting had posted it and recorded it. That did not happen.
That meeting happened on December 11th, where the county commissioners, the Bainbridge City Council, the Development Authority, the Decatur County School Board, and the Board of Tax Assessors met. The 5 boards voted unanimously to approve a 10-year tax abatement for the project. But now the commissioners say their approval is not legally binding, which puts a dent in the project's financial incentives. Residents still called on county leaders to put a stop to the monkey business.
The citizens that live near this project lose, and the community as a whole loses if something goes wrong.
Anybody that did not do the background on this project should be fired.
PETA officials also calling on county leaders to not just only hold themselves accountable, but also city and development leaders.
The only thing that popped in my mind with that video was Planet of the Apes. That's what they was low-key trying to do. And we all seen how that movie goes. Any of the Planet of the Apes movies start testing on them. They start revolting. They take over. Just leave the monkeys alone.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the pop!
Just shoots her 3 times. 3 times. So when he fires, they could have retreated. Mm-hmm. They absolutely could have retreated. And I don't think the law requires them to retreat. But her life, to save her life, they should have retreated. But if you look at what's in between them, there's a countertop with all kinds of. She doesn't pose a threat pose a threat of serious bodily harm or death. And that's what you have to have for lethal force. There's a force continuum that the cops adhere to. It's part of their training. It starts with talking and ends with lethal force. Sometimes you jump right to lethal force just because the situation calls for it. But there's gradations, you know, and she's clearly confused. And here, he's, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. She doesn't say she's going to throw at him, and they could have easily backed up. But they don't do that. They don't do that. I'm going to shoot you in the face. What do they call that? Premeditation. Premeditation is, you know, the deliberation and the forethought about killing somebody with intent. And it can happen in an instant. I don't have to plan your death today, you know, to kill you tomorrow and have that whole time to contemplate death for it to be premeditated. It can happen in an instant.
Headshot wound to the female.
Headshot wound to the female. No reason for them to use lethal force in this.
Wound to the female. 1078.
Is right. You know what that is? That is consciousness of guilt. I just messed up.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit. No, dude, she's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God damn it. God.
Yeah, I mean, she did not need to be shot.
Yeah, I'm not taking boiling water in the head. And look, it came right to our feet, too. God damn it.
So he's going to say that he was afraid of a boiling hot pot of water, and that he feared either serious bodily or death. That's what it's got to be: serious bodily injury, or great bodily injury or death. Now, can a pot of water burn you? Absolutely, it can burn you. And can it cause great bodily harm? Yeah. Can it cause death? Probably not death.
God damn it. You good? I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Let her. God, is that what you do, man?
So he's convinced his partner not to give her medical aid.
You good? All right. Well, I mean, you know, what else do we do?
What else can we do? Let me ask you this. What harm could it have been if she's being crazy with a pot of water for them to just step outside? What harm could have come to them if they just stepped outside? That's not within their bailiwick, right? That's not within their skill set to back off, because they're attack. It's like when you chase. I don't believe in police chases either. I mean, what's to be lost if you just get the guy's license plate and you back off and then go to his house and wait for him at his house? That happens all the time, actually. But you risk the danger to citizens. This citizen should have been left alone.
I'm not taking hot boiling water to face, and it already reached us.
I didn't see her throw the water on the officers, did you?
I didn't either.
Did you see it in that? It didn't happen.
You better not. That's where I got. I'll fucking shoot you right in your face. Okay, I'm sorry. Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
Look at her. She's cowering.
Why would it hurt you? You called us. Okay. So what'd you hear?
She's not doing anything to anybody.
19 shots fired. Shots fired! Shots fired! Breathing this now. We got a headshot wound to the female.
Guess what? This is powerful. And what's the trial going to be about? The trial's going to be about one thing and one thing only. What the officer thought and whether that thought was reasonable or not. And his defense is going to be, I feared for my life or my physical safety. I thought I was in great I thought I was in danger of great bodily harm. And you can use lethal force when it comes to that. But that belief was not reasonable. And that's what a trial is going to be about for this officer.
Female. Headshot wound to female. 1078. I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit. No, headshot, dude. She's done. You can go get it, but.
So he wants to get his kit to see if he can save her, and he says, "Nah, she's done. It's a headshot." And that's what he threatened her with. So he had it in his mind, I'm going to shoot you right in the face if you pour that hot water in my direction.
That's a headshot. God damn it. God. Dude, I'm not taking boiling water to the head. And look, it came right to our feet, too.
Came to our feet. Why did it come to your feet? It came to your feet because she's dead and the pot probably spilled. Yeah, she didn't throw that. She cowered. The minute you pulled your gun, she cowered. She was no threat to you whatsoever. And that is powerful, powerful evidence.
Thank you, Eric, for the video.
Tell you something about celebrities. Let me tell you something about some big sports stars. If you honestly knew what some of your favorite big superstars really did behind closed doors, if you knew what your favorite late night talk show host did behind closed doors, if you really knew what your favorite radio star, TV star, newscaster truly did behind closed doors. None of us are perfect. We all do weird things. We're all freaky and weird and crazy. But if you knew, you wouldn't follow half the people. You wouldn't listen. And I tell you what, I put doctors on that list. I put CEOs on that list. I put the everyday person on that list. People are wrapped up watching the news, listening to their stars, because that's the way you've been programmed your whole life. We're still in the Roman Empire, baby. Feed them and entertain them just enough, and we shall control them through fear, and they will do whatever we want. We have a dictator situation.
Thank you, Des, for the next couple of videos.
Men to the left, because women are always right.
Who else is bored of these fruit-flavored Coca-Cola?
Garlic?
Well, the savory range is here, launching initially with garlic and onion flavor. Would you try?
Thank you. Oh, he's loving this.
Wow. I don't have access to the caption, so I can't read the caption for y'all.
One sandwich in, and I'm trying to figure out what the
That's McDonald's.
is even in the inside of these.
That's a McChicken?
What?
I'm not gonna cook that either.
It's rubber.
You gotta rub Hell no. This has gotta go.
It took that much to get it to
That was
break.
an onion?
Gotta go.
Not a single person is tearing up right now.
I don't understand how that does that. But I wholeheartedly agree with this quote.
Look what the vinegar did. It opened up the fake chicken. This is that science lab made meat. Look at this. It's like stringy.
This does not look like a steak.
Here we go, guys. Would you eat lab-grown meat?
No, thank you.
Or do you think that
That was like a
we
watermelon.
don't know enough? Comment below, share, follow. Thanks, guys.
Dear internet.
What is that?
First of all, I soaked this meat in the vinegar, and yes, it changed color. Like it went from pink to brown. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just the vinegar that got in it.
Cabbage.
Oh wow, you
So
everywhere.
Will Smith says he is Jesus. I literally just got done showing you guys a video of Beyonce saying she was Jesus and Jay-Z saying he was Jehovah. Now we have Will Smith saying he's Jesus. He said he is the truth and the lie. He said he is for real and pretend. He says he is the judge and the victim. It sounds like Will is a walking contradiction. Honestly, this breaks my heart, guys, because I genuinely love Will Smith. As a kid, I watched every Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode. I literally know each one of them. Now he out here saying he's Jesus Christ. He literally just had a gospel performance at the BET Awards last month. Now he's saying he's Jesus? So you got a wife who does ayahuasca thinking that that's her God. You got two kids doing every little thing they can to stand out and not be in their parents' shadow. And now you got Will calling himself Jesus. That's a household full of demonic activity. And you wonder why you're tormented internally, trying to do everything you can possibly to patch up the wounds you have in your soul. But I got news for you, Will. No matter how many stunts you do, no matter how much you try to get your adrenaline pumping, no matter how much temporary pleasure you receive, those holes will always be there until you find the key, which is Christ. Honestly, guys, I'm not even mad at Will. I feel bad for him. He is a soul just like me and you. The only difference is we found the light and he's still looking for it. Pray for Will. God bless.
Sit here and say, I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Why did y'all pass a law only for Asians? Why did y'all pass a law only for Native Americans? Why did y'all pass a law only for transgenders? Why did y'all pass a law only for LGBTQs? Why did y'all pass a law only for immigrants? If you can't do anything just for black people, this is what she said. It came out of her mouth. If you can't do anything just for black people, how was it possible for you and President Biden to do all these other things for specific ethnic groups in this country from whose benefit no—
Alexandria for the video.
So apparently this mountain in California has a whole city underneath it. Huh? So check this out. In 1904, a British man named J.C. Brown had been hired by a mining company from England to prospect gold in the mountain. Yeah. As he was digging, he discovered a mysterious cave that seemed to be around 11 miles long. Brown saw a small pinch of light at what it seemed like the never-ending tunnel, so he started walking towards it. After a roughly 3-hour walk, Brown seemed to have finally arrived at the end, but when he came closer, he couldn't believe what he saw. He discovered what seemed like lost village inside of the mountain. As he went further into the city, he found a chamber with 27 tombs that had skeletons in them, except that the skeletons were over 9 feet tall. What? He hid the entrance to the city and kept the information to himself. However, he obsessed over it in secret, and finally, after 15 years, he put together a team of 8 people to go back and explore the city. However, on the day the expedition was supposed to begin, J.C. Brown and his team vanished and were never seen again.
So if his team vanished and were never seen again, I believe including him as well, how is this information out today? How do people know this story? Like I said, all this stuff be on here for entertainment purposes. Like, majority of this stuff, I'm being honest, like, it's just, they're very interesting stories. I'm not saying I believe this story, a city inside a mountain, but I wouldn't be surprised if it existed, in other words.
You know, that's why the people who real now are endangered species. Nobody wants to be around them. People are afraid of them. Other people are afraid of them. People don't want to spend money with them certain ways.
Everything these people learn way too late.
1, the less you say, the more your words will matter. 2, don't take everything personally. Not everyone thinks about you as much as you do. Be unbeatable.
Man, I was going to react to more. I'll just stop there on that lovely, beautiful video. Y'all know I am a quote girly. Quotes keep me tunnel vision. Bible verses keep me on the narrow path. This stuff is what helps, because when you have something and it hits like that and you're able to remember it, I promise you it saves you so much in life. So many quotes, and I know and that was just 11 things, but those 11 things really hit, and every last one of them that they spoke on, I went through every last one of them. I'm being honest, and I know y'all have too. But I really love quotes. I really do. Like, I didn't get aware of quotes until college, so I was like a late bloomer with quotes. But I still say it's all part of Yahuwah's plan and purpose for me, because he had me blinded to quotes. I just didn't care about. I like Bible verses, but I didn't have as much as that, that I know now. But they really do help. I'm telling you, because when you're in certain situations and you can remember and reflect back on a quote or a Bible verse, and you implement the stuff that you learned. See here, look, hold on. Y'all done got me started. Hold on. This is the whole point about remembering quotes and Bible verses. And at the end of the day, I'm about to really put y'all on game. The quotes that we get are from the Bible. They're just worded differently. When I learned that, it was in game for me. But long story short, the thing is, you don't sit here and you read this stuff just to say you memorized it. No, that's knowledge. So wisdom is when you sit here and you apply the knowledge, the Bible verse, the quote, because it's happening in real time. That's the whole point of knowledge. Knowledge is not all about knowing. No, you're supposed to be doing. You don't learn this stuff just to say you learn it and that you memorized it and then you got people that got it tatted. No, when the situations happen, this is what it's all about. When the test comes, you will pass because you sat here and you prepped yourself for the moment. I really pray I made sense. I really hope that came out. Yahuwah, I pray that came out the way you wanted it to come out. But that is the whole point. That's why I love quotes and I love Bible verses, because when the time comes, I should be able to show the fruit that I've been preparing for behind the scenes. So when it happens, I'm passing with flying colors. Y'all passing with flying colors. We shouldn't be failing, or if we're failing, that we just know that we have stuff to work on. But really, nothing's a fail. Really, everything's all a lesson in life. So I really hope that came out the way it came out. Hopefully my future, when I'm editing this, I hope I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I might put a like thumbs up if it came out right. But hallelujah. I want to thank you all for sending in videos. I'm kind of doing this thing where I kind of mix it. Like, it might be where you guys get your shout out at the end, or I might do it before. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, because I'm getting 50-50. People are like, oh, do the shout outs before. And then people are like, you can just do the shout outs after. Right now, we're testing the waters right now, in other words. So shout out to all you guys that have sent in videos. I gave you guys your shout out throughout the video. If I stopped doing shout outs, it's because you had already sent in videos and I already said your name earlier. Make sure you guys add the Discord. This is how you guys get videos sent in. This is how I see them, how I react to them, how they're on the channel. So again, the link is in the description down below. Please make sure to go check it out. And it's not just for y'all to drop y'all videos. It's like a very lit community over there, but I don't want to brag. I would rather my fruit show it, and I would rather y'all see it and y'all to express you guys' feelings and opinions and emotions about it. I want to give all esteem, all glory, all honor to my Saba Yahuwah Lua and my Abba, my Adonai Yahushua Mashiach, for blessing me with everything as a whole. I'm just a vessel that they work in and through, so I have to give credit and honor where it is due. I also wanted to say thank you guys for all your love and support. For those that hit the like button, you watch, you comment, you subscribe, you shop the merch, which is shopperkyy.com. If you happen to buy some merch for me, can you please take a picture and tag me so that I can feature you on the website so I can give credit where it is due. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom, shalom.
You can't bring me down. I know who I belong to. Yeah. What?